the sky.
Yo guys, ItsRamos here, welcome back to another video, and today what I've got for you is my EFL League One prediction for the 2019/20 season. Now, just before we get into this video, just a quick little disclaimer. If I place your team lower down than you believe they should be, please do not be offended, because at the end of the day, it's only my opinion. It doesn't determine anything. I just thought, it would be a nice video to make, to predict the table, potentially look back on it at the end of the season, see how many I got right, and just, discuss my opinion. And like I say, it'll be nice to see how many I can get right by the end of the season. So guys, as you can see, I have got the table on screen here, and how this is going to work is we're going to start from the very, very bottom of the table with the bottom four, and eventually work our way up, to the playoffs, the top two, and who's getting promoted. I'm going to pull up about 5 teams at a time when going through this and discuss why I've placed them there. So without further ado, let's get into the prediction. So firstly, rock bottom of Sky Bet League One next year, I've decided to put Bury FC. Now my reasoning for this is Bury are starting on minus 12 points, and they barely have, any players at the club. At the time of recording this video, there are discussions of them loaning out a few players from Premier League clubs. But, the majority of their players have left for other clubs, especially Plymouth Argyle. Quite a lot have gone there, including manager Ryan Lowe. I can't see it being a good season for the Shakers. Everything's going wrong at the club at the moment. Barely any registered first team players. I feel like they're just going to go straight back down to League 2, especially starting on minus 12. So that's why I put them rock bottom of the league. Just above Bury in 23rd and 22nd, I've gone with Tranmere Rovers and AFC Wimbledon. Newly promoted Tranmere, I feel, are going to fall short this season in an aim to stay in League One. Back-to-back promotions to them. Every credit to Rovers for doing that. And if they go and stay up in League One, fair play to them. But personally, I can't see it happening, especially with the loss of James Norwood. They have made a few decent signings, to be fair to them, but I just can't see them, staying in this division. I can just see them falling short. If they go and stay up, every credit to Tranmere or go on to better things. But in my opinion, they're going to go down. And as for AFC Wimbledon, they've just been surviving these past few seasons in a row. And I think this season will finally be the year that the Dons fall short of safety. I'm pretty sure they survived right near the end. It might have even been the final day last year. But, staying in League One for another year, every credit to them. But like I say, this year I think they will fall short. Another team that have narrowly survived relegation for the past few seasons are Rochdale. I feel like this year will finally be the year that they fall short. They've been relying on the goals of Ian Henderson too much. And I feel like with the league getting stronger now, this will finally, unfortunately for the Dale, be the year that they go down. So next up, we've got the 5 teams that I believe will narrowly survive relegation. Starting in 20th with MK Dons. It may even go down to the final day for the Dons. Could be a battle between them and Rochdale. Obviously, a newly promoted side into League One. They just beat Mansfield to it by beating them last season in League 2. I feel like they do have a decent team, but only just good enough to stay in this league. I feel like they do have a better side than Rochdale. And I feel like, they could go down, but I'm going to say they're going to stay up. Just above them, I've gone with Southend United. A poor season for them last year, just surviving in League One again. And Bolton Wanderers in 18th, a relegated championship side. Now, it may look strange putting a relegated championship side in 18th in League One, but it's the fact that they're starting on minus 12 points. Again, at the time of recording this video, they have 1 or 2 registered players. It's all going wrong for Bolton. I've seen a lot of predictions have got them to go down to League 2, but I think they will be strong enough to survive, only just. And from 17th to 15th, mid-table-ish sides, I'm going with Accrington, Oxford and Shrewsbury. Not really too much to say about these teams. Bang average sides, really. I feel like Accrington, they're hanging around there in recent seasons. Same with Oxford and Shrewsbury. I feel like either of these sides could finish in the top 10, but with the league being so strong this year, I've had to place them down low. So for the 4 sides that are missing out on the top 10, I've gone with Wycombe Wanderers, Lincoln City, Coventry City and Gillingham. Now, firstly, I've gone with Wycombe in 14th. I feel like this will be a decent season for the Chairboys with some good signings, at Wycombe, including the likes of Jack Grimmer from Coventry. Great signing there, and a few others. So I feel like Wycombe will have a steady and comfortable year in League One. 13th, I've gone with newly promoted Lincoln City. A great manager in Danny Cowley. I feel like they can push on and get, a solid finish in League One next season. 12th, I've gone with Coventry City. I think they are a very good side, just missing out on playoffs last year. But I think the fact they won't be playing at their home ground this year won't really work in their favour. Playing all the way in Birmingham, I'm not sure how many Coventry fans are going to be there, but I feel like it's going to be a difficult, turbulent year for Coventry, so that's why I've got them down in 12th. And just missing out on the top 10, I've gone with another dark horse in Gillingham. Some good signings for them. They are a good side on their day. Again, never an easy team to beat, Gillingham, so I feel like they will just miss out on the top 10. Now moving on to the 4 teams just missing out on playoffs. In 10th place, I've gone with Burton Albion. A very, very good side on their day, some fantastic players. Any of these 4 teams could definitely get playoffs easily, I think, but it's just, there's so many good teams in this league this year. I've had to put them just down here. Burton, a very good side. I think a solid finish, definitely a top half finish for Albion. 9th, I've gone with Bristol Rovers. Now, I feel like they might surprise a few people this season. I feel like they could be up there, in the playoffs maybe. They are a very good side on their day and difficult to beat, as Blackpool learned last year. 8th, I've gone with Fleetwood Town. Some absolutely fantastic signings for them, including getting Harry Seatar back at the club and a few more. I know they signed a lad from Sheffield United who's supposed to be quite good. I feel like they can push on and maybe get playoffs. But again, with some of the teams above them, I've had to put them just outside. 7th, I've gone with my team, Blackpool. I think we have a very, very solid team this year. Some excellent signings that I'm looking forward to seeing. The likes of Sully Kaikai, Jack Annick, a very good goalkeeper, Jamie Devitt from Carlisle. I think we could easily get in those playoff positions, but with the teams above, I've had to put us in 7th, just narrowly missing out. So now, moving on to the playoff positions. Taking up the 6th place position, I've gone with Doncaster Rovers. A very, very strong side last year. Obviously finishing 6th last season. Now they've got an amazing manager in Darren Moore, former West Brom. I think he can really get that Doncaster team going. Hopefully for them they can push up the league. I'm hoping we can pip them to that final playoff place maybe. But they are a very strong side, very tough to beat. They're always well set up, Doncaster teams. So I feel like they will get the playoffs again. And obviously they got knocked out in the semi-final by Charlton last year. They'll be looking to get to Wembley this time and try and go all the way. 5th place, I've gone with Peterborough United, another side who just missed out on playoffs last year. However, with the additions they've made, I think they're really going for it this year. This year will be the year I think Peterborough get playoffs. Whether they'll win the playoffs or not, it's hard to say right now. No one can predict that because we don't know who's going to be in it. But I think they will certainly finish inside that top 6 this season. 4th place, I've gone with Portsmouth. They finished in the playoffs last year. Knocked out by Sunderland, but I think they are a great team. They'll finish playoffs again. I'm going with 4th. Obviously losing Matt Clark to Brighton, but a lot of money coming in for him. They've still got an exceptional side, so I feel like they will finish in the playoffs. For the final playoff position and just missing out on automatics, I have gone with Sunderland. They've brought in some great additions, the likes of Mark McNulty and more. I feel like the top 2 teams will do better next season. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sunderland got automatics, but I've got them just missing out and getting that final playoff place. They could very likely go up through the playoffs, but I've got them 3rd in my prediction. Finally, the top 2 teams going up automatically to the Championship. In 2nd place, I've got Ipswich Town. Obviously keeping a lot of very strong players from last season's relegation from the Championship and adding the likes of James Nord from Tranmere Rovers. I think they are definitely going up this season in the automatics, whether that being win the league or finish in 2nd. However, I have got them in 2nd because 1st place, I've gone with Rotherham United. This may come as a surprise to a few, but they're experienced in this league. They're a bit of a yo-yo team, keep coming down and back up. And the additions they've made, they're showing that they really want to get out of this league again. The likes of Freddie Ladapo from Plymouth and more. And they've already got an extremely strong team, strong back line. I know they just have sold their best defender, but Rotherham's team is very, very strong, and I think they are going to win the league next year. So as you can see there, that is my EFL League One table in full. Let me know what you agree and disagree with. If you want to leave your table prediction in the comments, I'll certainly give them all a read. Let me know who you think is going to finish where, if you think the Seasiders are going up or not. I think we have a very, very strong chance of getting playoffs, but I feel like we might just miss out. I'm really hoping we can play some great football. I think it's going to be a great season for us to push on, hopefully. But if you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.